They say blood is thicker than water, but what happens when the water turns toxic? Before I begin, make sure you subscribe for more deep and powerful stories like this one, and let me know your city or hometown in the comments. I'd love to see where you're listening from. My name is Ethan Cole. On a chilly Manhattan morning, I was halfway out the door of my tiny apartment, coffee in one hand and a folder of architectural plans under my arm, when my phone buzzed on the counter. The screen lit up with a name I hadn't seen in years, Mom. Linda. She never called unless something was truly wrong. Growing up in a quiet coastal town in Maine, I had learned to let those calls ring. I was the forgotten son, always in the background, while my younger brother, Ryan, soaked up all the light. He was the family's pride, I was the shadow. Years ago, I'd left to chase a career in urban planning, determined to create spaces where people could feel seen, something I never felt back home. But her voice on the line pulled me back instantly. "Ethan, you need to come home. It's your father," she said, her voice trembling. "He's not well." My chest tightened. My father, Thomas, was a man of few words but endless quiet strength. "What's wrong?" I asked, but before she could explain, the line went dead. The drive home was a blur, cold air lashing at the windshield, the scent of saltwater creeping in through the vents. The family house looked worn by decades of storms, its cracked windows and sagging porch mirroring the fractures in our family. Mom stood in the doorway, arms crossed, her eyes sharp. Inside, the house smelled faintly of sea spray and dust. Dad sat in his old armchair, thinner than I remembered, his hands trembling as he reached for me. "Ethan," he said softly, and guilt tightened around my chest. Dinner that night was heavy with silence. Ryan wasn't there, but his absence was loud enough to feel. Later, Mom pulled me aside. "There's something you should know." I got my answer the next morning, overhearing her and Ryan talking behind the paper-thin walls. "He doesn't deserve this," Ryan hissed. "Stay calm," Mom replied. "We'll handle Ethan." My stomach dropped. This wasn't just about Dad's health. When I walked into the kitchen, Mom announced that Dad had changed his will, most of his savings were now going to me. Ryan's expression turned to ice. "Looks like you're the golden child now." I laughed bitterly. Golden child? I spent my whole life invisible. Mom's tone was smooth but cold. "We just want to make sure this is handled properly." I told them I wanted to talk to Dad myself. As I turned, Ryan muttered, "Watch yourself. Things aren't what they seem." When I sat down with Dad, he admitted quietly, "I should have fought for you more. I can't undo the past, but I can try to make things right now." His words stirred something fragile inside me, but Ryan's warning stayed in my head. The family meeting was tense. Ryan accused me of manipulation. Mom tried to keep control, but Mason, Ryan's husband, cut through the tension, urging us to breathe. That night, Mason came to my old room and shut the door. "Ryan's involved with a gallery owner named Oliver," he said. "Money's been moving around that shouldn't be. I'm tired of keeping quiet." The next day, a private investigator named Harper confirmed it. Hidden meetings, secret transfers, proof that this was more than just sibling jealousy. With Mason beside me, I confronted Mom and Ryan in the living room. I dropped the folder of evidence onto the table. Ryan's bravado crumbled, and his voice cracked. "I can't keep living this lie," he confessed. Mom's face went pale. The truth was ugly, but it was finally out. In the days that followed, the house felt lighter. Mom kept to herself. Ryan seemed smaller, quieter. I spent my mornings in Dad's garden, feeling the first real calm in years. One afternoon, I found a letter in Dad's belongings, his handwriting shaky, filled with regret but also belief in me. I handed it to Mom and Ryan, watching their walls begin to crack. It wasn't forgiveness, not yet, but it was the start of something better. With Dad's savings, I began planning a community center, a place for kids like me to be heard. Standing on the porch, the ocean roaring below, I felt something rare and precious: hope. The storm had passed, but I knew the tides would rise again someday. And to you, watching right now, if this story moved you, hit subscribe and stay with me for more journeys through betrayal, truth, and finding your worth. Remember, sometimes the family you're born into can hurt you, but the life you choose to build is yours alone. I'll see you at the next shore.